all love success stories, and our 25-year partnership with South Africa's most iconic cycling event is exactly that.
To put into words the value that Mediclinic bring to an event like the Cape Town Cycle Tour is practically impossible. This is a true partnership, a true integration of two organisations working together selflessly to serve the interests of our participants and give back to the greater community of Cape Town.
So in 1995, when I became involved as a cycling enthusiast, I could see that when you looked at other cycling events around the world, the one thing perhaps that we could deliver on was the ability to provide world-class health service and ramp up the status of the event to new international levels.
My journey with the cycle tour started in the mid-80s before helmets were necessary. I did my first cycle tour of 7 without a helmet. After I did my 7 cycle tours, somebody said to me, "Why don't you come and work on the road?" And I said, "That sounds like a great idea." So I did a couple of those on the road, absolutely loved it. And before I knew where I was running the Intect, and this will be my 9th year.
In the early days of the cycle tour, the service delivery, medical service delivery, was delivered largely by first aiders. So Red Cross and St. John's were there. And then a couple of volunteers, which were either specialists from anesthetics or urology, who had obviously the skills, but not necessarily the ability to cover a large tour. And so we needed to find a solution that would cover 109 or 110 kilometers, but that would also accommodate the ever-rising number of thousands upon thousands of cyclists.
I remember my first August, the biggest problem was cramping, because I'd never done that kind of distance before. So I had to stop at all the different medical posts. Each station, it's different hospitals man it. So Mediclinic Worcester will man that one, and Mediclinic Vijfvliegen will man that. And so year after year, now that I've gotten to know the staff, you actually know which hospital is which by the people working there. So yeah, I've been doing it for quite a while. It'll be my 22nd this year.
Nice.
Yes.
I think the most exciting part for me on the cycle tour is obviously getting into the start, but then every water point you go past, you're like, hi, because you can see your buddies working there.
Seeing the doctors out on the day, the nurses, the ambulances, is incredibly reassuring for participants as they head around the 109 kilometres of the cycle tour.
My husband, Dane, races. You know, he races in the front, and I'm often asked, am I not worried? Am I not concerned? He also doesn't carry his cell phone with him, because, you know, that's extra baggage. But I've never been concerned, maybe because I work for Mediclinic and I truly trust the expertise, that if something happened to him along the way, they would take care of him as well as I would.
My journey with the Cape Town Cycle Tour has been from various perspectives. Currently, it's my 2nd year as the Chief Medical Officer of the race, and my journey started 7 years ago when I was just a doctor assisting along the route, where we provided care to the riders that needed it, and some of them that just stopped for a social chat. We have now progressed to 20 and 25 years of expertise in this race, and with that comes obviously the integration of new knowledge, new technology that we've incorporated to deliver the service that we currently do. Things like pre-screening of our athletes to minimize the risk of adverse events. In addition to that, lovely software and technology development to record patient records accurately and to get a lifetime view of what's happening across the board during this race on race day.
I'm confident that if I come with my bike, you come with your bike, I'll crash into you this year, because we're riding together.
We are. Because that's what we do.
Yeah, so if that happens, Mediclinic will be there for you, Kerry. And me.
Thanks. And we'll have transport home if we can't make it.
This is absolutely true.
So it isn't just a value in rands and cents. It's a value in trust. It's a value in ethos. And from all of us at the Cycle Tour, a huge thank you to Mediclinic. We know that without you, we would not be what we are today.